Stephanie Holloway is an advisor at a local Transamerica branch. Holloway is organizing a food and clothing drive that is sponsored by her employer. Holloway said her employer encourages their employees to give back to the community, which she calls a win-win.
Well, yes, for myself, but also through Transamerica, they really kind of promote this to kind of give back to the community. So I've been an advisor with them for about a year now. So I really like that about the company because they kind of push you to make sure that you're giving back to the community as well. So it's kind of a win-win because I want to do it and where I'm employed kind of pushes for it, so it works.
This is Holloway's second year being involved in the drive. She said last year's drive was a success and hopes this year's drive will be as well.
So I did that last year and it was actually really successful. I did it for the Warm House in Waynesboro, and I also did it for their cold weather shelter. They had nothing because last year was their first year at the cold weather shelter. So we wound up getting tons of coats donated there. It was altogether about $4,000 worth of food and clothes donated to Warm.
Back on January 13th of 2016, Holloway's son Aaron had to undergo a double lung transplant. She said that experience is what drives her to give back to the community.
I was working for a retail place. I was the head manager in Waynesboro. And he just went down really quick. Right after he turned 15, he was about 15 and a half. Heart started failing. Lungs went right behind it. So they put a stent in his heart. And every 48 hours we had to put medicine in it to keep his heart going. Then he was put on oxygen 24 hours a day. He was in a wheelchair. So he couldn't do anything himself. He was in full heart failure. The only thing keeping his heart going was the stent with the medicine being pumped into it. So when they placed us on the transplant list, we actually, by God's grace, we were only on there for 5 days. The donor was right there at UVA. Aaron was the only one that was listed for B positive blood. So he was right there 5 days. At first they did try to send us home with hospice, but because they did say he only had less than 1% chance to make it off the table. I said, well, if you send him home with hospice, it's 0. So at least we have this 1%. So we did the surgery. It was 17 and a half hours. He almost passed then. He bled internally, and they couldn't stop it. It stopped. He was in a coma for 12 days. He woke up, right lung collapsed. Had to wheel him back into surgery, blow that back up. We were there for 7.5 weeks, 3.5 months of physical therapy, 4 days a week. Takes 18 months to heal. His sternum's wired shut with seal because they're going to have to open it back up in order to be able to do that. But he still plays video games. He still does chores at the house. He works every day, not feeling good. He'll go to an infusion and go to work. The infusions keep him going. So, as long as I can give back to the community that helped us when we needed it the most, then I'm going to keep doing that.
Holloway has already set up several drop-off spots through local businesses, but wants to add more to the list.
I'm going to do it for Warm again this year. So we are going to start November 1st and do it through January 1st. I want to also do for the cold weather shelter as well because they don't have anything. They're just freshly starting. I figured if we got with people now before they went through their closets and things like that, we could hopefully really be able to either match last year or pass what we did. So that's kind of the goal. I need to get some more local businesses that are willing to be drop-off spots. I'll provide the box and the sign. I'll promote your business as a drop-off spot. Right now I have Rue Vapes downtown in Waynesboro and Luxury Chariots here in Stanton have both volunteered to be drop-off spots. And Roger Gregoire from Rue Vapes is volunteered to donate some turkeys for Thanksgiving.
If you or your business or place of employment want to get involved, here's how you can reach Stephanie.
My email is also insurancelife1618@gmail.com. I answer my Gmail every day. So that's an easy way to get in contact with me if they want to be able to say, hey, I'll be a drop-off spot. So I'll supply the box, I'll supply the sign, I'll pick up whatever they need me to pick up. They kind of just need to be able to be a place where somebody can bring food to, kids' clothing, women's clothing, coats. I'm pretty much taking everything for this drive.
There is a Facebook page where you can go and view Aaron's amazing journey and keep up with his recovery and check for updates on his condition. That page is Aaron Strong, all one word, spelled as follows: capital AARIN, capital STRONG.
Unfortunately, the double lung transplant was not a fix. We're going to have to do this every 5 to 8 years for the rest of his life. While God's grace, we're celebrating 4 years in January. That just means reality is 5 to 8 years is right around the corner. He does have chronic rejection. He does weigh 108 pounds. He did just fail his lung function test. He has a skin infection right now he's on antibiotics for, and this kid gets up every day and goes to work.
In Stanton, Theodore Whitelow, Breaking Through News.